Hey, welcome back. In this lesson I'll show you how to put some details into this clothing. So this is what we had when we last finished the last lesson, just a basic clothing. And let's create some little eyelets and laces that go over here. So let's start with the eyelet. We'll create that in a separate tool. So just get out of edit mode and hit Control N to clear your canvas. And click this simple brush icon and turn on Ring 3D and then just drag it out. I could play with the initialize settings if I wanted, make it different number of spans and stuff. Oh, sorry, you gotta put in edit mode first. There we go. Okay. And once I'm happy with that, I just hit make polymesh 3D, and this thing is a polymesh. I'm gonna use the move tool and turn on symmetry with X, and actually also turn on Y, and if you don't have it in the hotbar, it's down here and under transform. You can turn on X and Y, so it's going to be symmetrical in this direction and in this direction. And I'm just gonna basically create a little eyelet, a little kind of rectangular but still rounded eyelet, and this is kind of up to your own design. Maybe something like this. Okay. So since we're going to turn this into an insert mesh, I want to rotate this. You'll see why in a second. And I'm going to rotate it along X. No, I'm going to rotate it along Z. Okay, I'm going to just type in 90 in there. And that's can be found under your deformation, rotate. So now that I have this little thing, I'm just going to center it in my screen, and I have to make sure that I'm looking at it like this. So hold down Shift so you're just looking at it head on. And then under Brush, create Insert Mesh, and just hit New. So that's going to create an insert mesh with that little eyelet. Click back on your clothes, and you can see, turn off symmetry. You can create these little eyelets now on top of the model. You can only do that, by the way, if this has one subdivision level. As soon as you put more subdivision levels on it, it's just like the panel loops. You won't be able to do it. So this is cool. We can make these little things, but I don't want to make, I want the spacing to be precise, so I'll just show you a little trick to make it easier. And under stroke, so you could just take stroke and put it under here. And just turn on curve mode. Okay, and it's going to snap to the surface. And I'm just changing this because this is the step, the curve step, that's going to be the spacing between each little eyelet. Okay, so that's a large spacing. Now, they're coming out kind of big, so whatever your brush size is, that's going to kind of determine how big these eyelets are. Definitely want to make the curve step a little smaller, make the eyelets a little smaller. Could change the curve step in here. This can get a little bit tricky. Turn off bend. This curve can get really finicky. just undo that. That's kind of what I want, so I'm going to make the draw size a little bit bigger. And draw those eyelets on the surface, and then when I'm done with that, I'm just going to click off. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Click off. Now they won't be totally on the surface. There's some modifiers that can make it snap closer to the surface, but you can just solve this with a move. And just move them kind of into the mesh. Okay. So I'm going to control drag off and just make these little guys visible. So just I'm not going to do it for the whole thing because it's going to take a while. But let's assume these are where we want them. So now we're going to put laces in between them. And to do that, we're going to use the curve strap snap tool, which can be found under brush, curve strap snap. There it is. Definitely going to have to make it a little smaller. And we can create these little curves that go across. Alright. Now you can either make one of these, edit it, and copy it over to a bunch of them. Oh, by the way, you have to click off of it every time you make one. And then it's a little tedious, but you just go through with your move brush and just edit these little things. Like that. So they're overlapping. And then, you know, some are going to be on the top, some are going to be going underneath. And this is also where you're going to want to actually grab the pants and maybe lift them up off the surface of the skin too. So this, as you could see, if you hit BMT, move topological, you'll only be moving you know, by topological continuity, which is useful for this. But it does take a bit of time to get all these set up. That's basically how you do it though, or how I did it anyway. In the next lesson I'll show you how to put some folds into these pants using reference. Okay, thanks for watching.